Good morning, everyone. It's January 23rd, 2019. Here at shtfplan.com, Selco on PTSD. It's the price you pay for survival. I don't know if any of you have been inflicted with PTSD, but it is nothing to scoff at. It's the price you pay when you survive something horrible, like abuse, like violent attacks, like being taken into police custody and tortured. Alright, so the price you pay for survival. Do any of you have it? How it works for me is I relive the same moments over and over again. You kind of space out, right? And while you're in that state of mind, you relive the things that caused you to have PTSD in the first place. For all people out there who carry this ugly bird on their shoulders, anxiety, phobias, PTSD, depression, they're just words. For the people who have not experienced it personally, those words cannot portray the feelings of being lost, alone, and cornered while you are fighting for air, or simply thinking that you're going to die, or that you are not going to make it, or that it's not worth making it. I imagine it like a big black bird, an ugly bird hovering above your head in circles, then landing on your shoulders, pinching your shoulders with claws, and with its wings covering your vision. It suffocates you, blurs your judgment, pushes you to make decisions, or more often, not to make decisions. Now, for me, and a lot of people are going to say in the comment section, or some people are going to say, because I don't have a lot of people who watch me, but for me, taking painkillers was my way of dealing with it, and it works. They work well for that. And it overrides the painkillers. They override that suffocating blurring of your judgment. And you are able to make logical, unrashed decisions because it cuts off the part of your brain that feels emotion. How many times were you in a situation when you felt that you are in your own private hell while the world around you was still turning, unaware of the darkness you were in? When I'm there, I do not care for anything. That ugly bird pinches my shoulders and blurs my vision, so I do not see reasons to push on and on. I know that the reasons are there, but I cannot see them. I just keep hoping I will be able to push on to the moment when, again, I see reasons for life. It comes and goes, and it does. You know, one minute you could be sitting there watching a video or talking to your wife or your child, and then the next minute you're back there. And it's just like being there again. So this post is all about all of us who carry that bird on our shoulders. Do not make a mistake. It can be anybody. War veteran, housewife, kid, father. Anybody who's made it through seriously traumatic things. For me, I survived things that I should not have survived while others did not. So, and do not make the mistake of telling that person, oh, it is nothing. You're just imagining it, because no, it's not nothing. It is everything that matters for that person. And nothing else matters actually for that person. Every one of us has our own breaking point. The important thing here is that often you will not recognize what and when your breaking point is. Now, Sokol here is, I think, Serbian, so the English isn't, or the structure of the sentence isn't like we're used to here. I've been through many situations that can be described like pure horror, and I endured it without problems. And me too. But later on, those problems surface. Then years later, decades later, I drive my car through town and I see something, like two kids playing with their mother. And suddenly I feel that black bird hovering high above my head. And it's just like that. It could be anything. It could be anything that reminds you of that time. I prefer to call it a trigger mechanism. Something that triggers that flashback. And I get them, you know, pretty frequently. And it hits me like a train, something from my violent past. Maybe dead kids that I have seen 20 years ago. I guess I broke down 25 years ago. Now it's just me breaking down over and over again through redemption of memories and feelings. I haven't broken down for quite some time now. It's been a while, and when I first started winging myself off of painkillers, I did break down. But since then, no, not at all. I'm an expert on experiencing PTSD, as I am too. I'm not really fond of the word expert, and I do not proclaim myself to be a survival expert, but if I am an expert about anything, it may be PTSD. Often, after having articles where I mention psychological problems and coping with them, I read comments where people call it pathetic or portray me as weak. I'm going to stop right there. Anyone who portrays a person with PTSD as pathetic or weak have no idea. They've never been in a situation where they could have lost their life and other people did lose their life. Surviving when other people don't will give you PTSD. And caring for those people does not make you weak or pathetic. It is nothing like that, and often I would love to prove that to those couch warriors by messing them, but it is pointless. I think he meant messaging. It is always about people without experience talking about topics where they lack that particular experience and acting like experts. People who suffer PTSD are not weak. On the contrary to that, they are very strong because it is a hell of things, or a hell of a thing to have to carry. Trust me. Since I'm writing this in one of the worst episodes of it, trust me when I say some things. You must push on and on. There are books and programs on how to cope with it, but the only real and good start how to cope is to push on and on. until that ugly bird goes away. Not completely, but far and high enough so you can live something like a normal life. And your life is never normal again. Your mind is never normal again. You can only try. You can only try to live a normal life. And let me tell you, I have failed miserably at that. My second piece of advice is have someone close. Someone that you can talk to about what you are going through. Someone who will listen to you. You need a friend. And of course, I have none of that. Everything, I keep everything bottled up. The bird PTSD, it can't be killed, but it can go away for long periods of time, or high above you. He says ask for help. I don't ask for help, and I'm not going to. These are things I have to deal with myself. And if I were to tell anybody about the things that cause me to have PTSD, I would probably end up spending significant amounts of time in prison. So I have to keep those things to myself. And if you're smart, you will do the same. You don't need to talk to somebody. You only need to realize that it's not real, it's not happening, and it happened in the past. And you can't change it. And when you realize that, the PTSD isn't nearly as bad. So, if you have PTSD, in my opinion, the best thing you can do is to ignore it and push on. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time in flashbacks and remembering all the traumas that put you in that state in the first place. Anyway, I thought I'd share this with you. I hope everyone has a good day. Till next time, kill the state, live free.